Welcome to our event, In the Kitchen with Amanda Cox. Amanda is a blogger and curriculum developer for a national nonprofit youth leadership organization, Cubed Living. But her first love is communication through story. Today, she's welcoming us into her kitchen, where she'll share her favorite Southern comfort foods while discussing her novel, The Edge of Belonging, a novel that tackles issues of homelessness, adoption, discovery, and letting go. Welcome, Amanda, and thank you for inviting us into your kitchen.
Hi, I am so glad that you all get to be in my kitchen. So this is my kitchen, and you can't see the rest of the house, but I have a very open floor plan of our house. And so the kitchen is sort of the center of our house. And I have 3 little kids who are running around in the yard right now. So if you hear any strange noises, it's probably them. But this is their favorite room in the house too, because anytime I walk in here, they magically appear and want to know what I'm up to and what I'm making. So this is sort of the hub of my whole house. So I'm excited to invite everybody into my kitchen. It's really exciting to have the opportunity to talk to you about The Edge of Belonging, which is my debut novel. All of my stories have 3 main ingredients: hope, healing, and home. And so I was really excited to be able to talk to you all about Southern comfort foods, because at least for me, there's something about certain foods that just taste like home, and they sort of bring you back memories, days gone by. And so Southern comfort food and home just kind of go hand in hand for me. I was born and raised in the South. I'm an East Tennessee girl, 100%. And I've lived here my whole life, except for one tiny bit of my life where I was in New England going to college. My husband, well, we were dating then, but we were both up there in college. And there's one thing, a few things that we really, really started to miss after a little while. We were missing that Southern sweet tea that we couldn't seem to get anywhere. And you couldn't find pulled pork anywhere, like good barbecue. And we were really, really hankering for that taste of home. And so we both happened to work at this mortgage company, and they were doing a employee appreciation day, and we saw on the flyer that there was going to be barbecue, and we were just ecstatic. We couldn't wait. We hadn't been home in months and months, and we were going to get to have some real barbecue. Well, we showed up, and there was a grill, and there were hamburgers, and there were hot dogs, and I think we shed a few silent Southern tears because there was not the type of barbecue and those tastes of home that we thought were going to be there. But we dried our eyes and we went on with our day, and we're very appreciative of our hamburgers and hot dogs. But it wasn't that taste of home that we were hoping to get. So I think all of us have those certain foods that just sort of bring us back and make us feel that sense of connection to our past and where we come from. For me, one of my, I don't even know if anyone would consider it Southern comfort food, but for me it was, whenever I would go and visit my grandfather, called him Papa, and whenever we would go to visit him, he would serve us what he called slum gully stew. And it wasn't anything fancy, but it was what we ate every time we came to visit him at his house. And he's passed away years ago, but I can still think back to coming home to his house and the smell of the soup cooking in the pot, and it brings me back and it tugs at my heart, and I could almost tear up right now just thinking back to those tastes of home, that connection. So there's something about certain foods and flavors that bring you back, that build a sense of connection. So in The Edge of Belonging, there is a woman named Pearl, and she's this sort of matriarch figure in this story. We have in the story, there's sort of these little, it's like a little fledgling family that's forming as you read in pretty unconventional ways. And she's sort of this matriarch figure. She lives in a parsonage, which is attached to a church. And her husband's passed away, but she's elderly, and the church has decided to let her stay on at the parsonage. And there's a new pastor in town who is at the church now, and he's a young guy from California. And she can tell that he's got his own baggage that he's brought with him, some struggles, some hurts, and things like that. And so her habit every day was to bring lunch to the pastor's office, her husband's office. But now that this young pastor is there, she takes up she just continues her tradition of bringing food to this young pastor. And she doesn't poke and she doesn't pry, because she very much knows what it's like to be a part of a pastoral family. But she comes every single day with her offering of something to eat, whether it's some chicken salad sandwiches or it's something a little more extensive like fried chicken and mashed potatoes. She shows up with food every day. And so she kind of builds this sort of connection in that way. Before too long, there's another guy who shows up, and his name is Harvey. She really can't figure Harvey out. He's very skittish around people. He dresses oddly. He has some really strange behaviors, but for whatever reason, he just really tugs at her heart, and she feels this sense of connection to him. And he really struggles to let people in. But as the story goes on, she again is feeding Harvey too. And there's something just about the way that her opening her home and opening her kitchen, and she's building a sense of home with these people through food. So it's really that Southern comfort food comes through in the story a little bit as it's building this sense of connection with these characters. And I think there's another element of that foods that just bring you home, and being someone offering you a meal and someone feeding you. And food also, in a way, I find healing. And that might sound a little strange, and maybe that's just me because the weight of my heart's through my stomach. I'm not sure. If you want to just make friends with me, if you come over and give me food that I don't have to cook myself, then we're best friends instantly for sure. So maybe it's just me, but there's something that's healing about food. So there's something about sharing a home-cooked meal with someone, that you're serving them in a way that it might be a little more subtle. There's something that when you feed someone a meal that you've cooked, there's a sense of connection that's built. And I feel like there's some healing that happens too. Part of it, I think, is because our bodies need food. And then there's certain things that, again, it's that connection and that sense of home and bringing people back to those memories. Or even in the case of some of the characters in The Edge of Belonging, it's forging those memories, because Harvey, he's the type of character who's never really had that. He doesn't have those memories of good home cooking bringing him back. And so it's a sort of a building and a healing for him, a second chance for things that he didn't have before. And so it's a new sense of building and going forward. And it's all, there's a lot of things that go on in the story. But it was fun to talk a little bit about Southern comfort foods and the way that it kind of weaves into stories, and it helps brings people together. There's something special about bringing people together around a table. And it's been some strange times lately, and a lot of times we haven't been able to gather the way that we might have liked to gather around holidays and things like that. And one thing that I think is unique about the book coming out at times like these is it's a little bit of a reminder to see the people around us and see the needs around us. And sometimes it can feel, at least for me, it can feel a little bit difficult, because you feel the sense of needing to isolate and to be distant and further away, and trying to figure out, how do I forge connections and a sense of belonging in the middle of a time where we feel the need to be separate. So I think it's a unique element of the story that I hope will reach readers and will encourage them to find ways to continue to reach out as we work through some of the interesting elements of life that are different than what we've had to do in the past. So that's just a little bit about Southern comfort foods and what they mean to me and how they've kind of woven their way through my story. I can't hear you. Are you still there?
I am. Thank you so much, Amanda. I really enjoyed listening to your story, and I wish you the best of luck with your novel.
Thank you.
It was wonderful. So Amanda, what is it that I see in front of you that looks so delicious?
So the recipe card that went out had a recipe for fruit cobbler. So I made some peach version of it today. This is a recipe that my mom makes. My favorite is when she does the wild blackberry, because that's kind of the childhood memories for me, because we go out and pick blackberries and she'd make the cobbler. But it's a really great recipe if you want a quick, easy dessert that doesn't take a whole lot of effort. So it's kind of like a cozy, lazy day kind of thing that you can throw together really quick.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you very much, and good luck with your novel. I hope it's a big success.
Thank you so much.
All right.